Hey, it's a video on factoring complex trinomials, and this is a different method. It's called the chart method, I think. That's what I call it. Okay, so here you have your complex trinomial, 2x squared minus 9x plus 10. And we're trying to factor it. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. We are going to look for numbers that multiply to 2 and also numbers that multiply to 10. That's our first step, and we're going to set it up kind of like a chart. So I'm going to write everything I know that multiplies to 2. So 2 times 1. And I'm also going to write the reverse of that. So I also know 1 times 2. All right, so I think that's it. And then I'm going to write things that multiply to 10. Anything I can think of. So like 5 times 2, also 2 times 5. And 10 times 1, also 1 times 10. So anything I think of. And then here's another thing. I'm going to look at the signs. And I know it has to multiply to positive 10. But I also know that it's going to end up adding to negative 9. So I know, like right off the bat, I know the numbers I find, the numbers that multiply to positive 10, are going to both have to be negative in order for me to make this middle number a minus 9. Okay, so I'm going to change this, and I'm going to make all these numbers negatives. Because next step for this chart method is a little bit complicated, but you're going to multiply across, and you're trying to make a negative 9. Going to highlight it. So you're trying to come up with a negative 9. And what you're doing is you're going to multiply across. So you're starting in column 1, and you're going to multiply across to column 2. Okay, so let's try it. So let's start with this guy. I'm just going to highlight them. And this one. I'm going to multiply diagonally. So 2 times negative 2 would be negative 4. 1 times negative 5 would be negative 5. And then I add those numbers together. They equal negative 9. So I actually just found my numbers right off the bat. I did not plan that, people. It just happened. So that's actually the winning combination. I'll do another one where hopefully it's not right off the bat. Okay, so none of these other numbers matter because we know it's not them. So once we find our numbers, the way that we write them in brackets is straight across from left to right. So we would look at the top two numbers, 2 and negative 5. So we would set up 2 sets of brackets because we know that's what complex trinomials factor into. And the numbers are 2 and negative 5. And then we're going to just pop our x there since they have to multiply to x squared. And then we're going to take the bottom two numbers, 1 and negative 2, and I'm going to make this a 1x minus 2. And that's it. That's how you factor it using the chart method. Okay, let's try another one. So we have 3x squared plus 2x minus 8. Okay, so step 1. Find numbers that multiply to 3 and numbers that multiply to negative 8. Okay, so all the numbers that multiply to 3 are just 3 times 1 or 1 times 3. Okay, got those. Now I'm going to find everything that multiplies to negative 8. So 8 times 1, 1 times 8, 4 times 2, 2 times 4. And then the thing is, if it has to multiply to negative 8, like one of the two numbers, like that might be negative or that might be negative. So you actually have lots of possibilities here. So because I don't want to write out like a million possibilities, I might just add the negative in as I go. So I'll trial this out, 3 and 1. And we'll try our first pair. So I know one of them has to be negative. So let's say I made this negative. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. 1 times 8 is 8. Negative 3 plus 8 is 5. So it can't be that. And then if I think, okay, maybe that's not negative and maybe that's negative. That's just going to make this negative. So it would make it -5. It's still not going to work. So no. So that combination didn't work. So wait, I better not cross that off yet in case it's the other combo. Okay, so now I'll try the next one. 8 and 1. Hey, I'm seeing maybe I don't have to switch up these guys since I switched up all my other ones. Maybe just going with the first combo is good. Yeah, I'm thinking we just have to switch up one side. All right, that's good. Okay, so we're going with this guy. Oh, right. So, it's not that. Okay, so let's try this. So 8 times, oh, I know one of these numbers is going to be negative. So let's say it's the 1. So 8 times 3, 24. 1 times -1, -1. You know what? Right off the bat, since we're just trying to find numbers that add to 2, I know it's not going to be that combo because 24 is gigantic. That's never going to make 2. Okay, let's try 4 and 2. So I know one of these might be negative. So I'm going to try to make the 4 negative. Okay, so I'm going to go 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times -4 is -4. 6 take away 4 is 2. And that's the number I was looking for. So in my head, I knew the 4 would be the -1 because I could see like right off the bat that 3 times 2 is going to end up being bigger than 1 times 4. And I knew this was like a positive number. So I knew I didn't want the 6 to be the negative thing. Okay, cool. So once we found our numbers, we read them straight across. So we know they're going to factor into 2 brackets. So 3 and -4 goes in the first bracket, and 1 and 2 goes in the next bracket. And then we know that since we have an x squared term, the beginning term is going to have an x in it. Oh, and this is a positive too, so I'll put a plus sign. And also, we don't normally write a 1 in front of the x, so I'll just get rid of that. And that's our answer. And if we're unsure, because we're like, what, that was a crazy method, you could try expanding just to double check. So 3x squared plus 6 minus 4 minus 8. It's totally going to work. And that is the chart method.